Okay, 1.6, and in that it's a tortoise and the hare, and it's a story you must have heard where the tortoise goes really slow and the hare goes really fast, and hare was kind of arrogant about his win. So in this one, what's happening is the hare again mocks the tortoise for being slow, and also he gives him a head start. He thinks tortoise will be going really slow, so he gives tortoise 1 meter head start. So when the tortoise goes 1 meter ahead, then the hare starts running. So the distance for the hare from the start line is a function. So the distance is in terms of the time, so it's t squared, and for the tortoise, the distance from the start line is d equals 2 to the t power. So let's find out what's happening. It is asking at what time does the hare catch up to the tortoise. As you remember, the hare gives the tortoise 1 meter head start. So definitely in the beginning, the hare is behind. So let's find out what happens when does he catch up, or how many times does he catch up. So let's do t. Let's do the distance for the hare, which is the t squared function. So this is here, and then let's do the tortoise, which is d equals 2 to the t power, and this is the tortoise. Okay, so let's go back. When t is 0, then in that case hare was at 0 meters, but the tortoise was at 1 meter. Okay, then when t is 1, so all I'm doing is plugging it in. So I'm doing 1 squared, which is 1, and then if I do 2 to the 1, then this is 2 for this guy. So I'm just plugging in the t values here and finding out what is my distance for hare and the tortoise. So when it's t equals 2 seconds, then this will be 2 to the second power, which is 4, and then for this is also 2 to the second power, which is 4. So they both are at 4 meters when t equals 2. So here he caught up with him. Now let's find out what happens after. So when this is 3, this will be 3 to the second power, so 9. So this is 9, and for this one will be 2 to the third power, so 8. When this is 4, then this will be 5 to the second power, so 25, and then 2 to the fourth power, which is 16. So when this is 5, then this will be oh, I messed it up. Hold on. So here, this one, I forgot, this is 4. T is 4 right now, so 4 squared will be 16, and this is also 16. When you do 5 squared, so this is 25, and when you do 2 to the 5th, so that is 32, and then when it is t equals 6 seconds, so that will be 6 to the second, so 36, and then this will be 2 to the 6th, which is 64. So you will see that the hare catches up twice. One is when they both are 4 meters away from the starting line, and when they both are 16 meters away from the starting line, when t is 2 and when t is 4. After that, you can see that the tortoise, its distance kept going more and more, and looks like finally he wins. So that is what happening. So the answer to our prompt would be that at what time the hare catches up to the tortoise. So let's write down the hare caught up to the tortoise after 2 seconds and 4 seconds. Okay. Now let's do second prompt. And this one is saying if the race course is very long, who wins, the tortoise or the hare? So you can see we just talked about it. So if it is really long, so look how the tortoise is covering more and more distance each time. This is 25 for hare but 32 for tortoise, then it's only 36 for hare but 64 for tortoise. So you can see the tortoise is covering more and more distance each time. So tortoise will be winning if it is a really long race. So let's write it down. If the race is very long, the tortoise will win since his function, which is d equals 2 to the t, is exponential function. So over time he will cover more distance, and hare's function, which is d equals t squared, is only quadratic. So he will not be covering more distance over time because of the growth will be more for the exponential function. Okay. Now this one is asking at what time are they tied up. So as we know, they were tied up at t equals 2 and t equals 4 as we looked in the table, but this one asking us to do the same thing using the graph. So let's draw our graph. So this one is your t in seconds, okay, and this side, this is distance in meters, okay, and we will be going with up to 6 seconds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 seconds, and then we need to go up to 64. So let's go by 5. So this is 5, then 10, 15, this is 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 70. Okay. Let's draw the hare first. Okay. So let's put hare blue, and tortoise we will put maybe red. Okay. So now all I'm doing is I am using these table values. When t is 0, here is 0, t is 1, here is 1, t is 2, here is 4, and then I'll be doing the same thing for the tortoise. So here we go. So when t is 0, this is 0. So I'm right here for the hair. And then when t is 1, then this is 1, which is somewhere here. When this is 2, this is 4, so it's somewhere here. When this is 3, this is 9, so somewhere here. When this is 4, this is 16, so this will be right after. When this is 5, this is 25, which is right here. And then when this is 6, this one will be 36, which is right here. Okay, so now let's graph it. Okay, so here we are. And then it just goes up. Now let's do the same thing for the tortoise. When it's 0, then it's 1, so it's a little bit up. When this is 1, this is 2, so it's still up. When this is this and this is 4, so they both are together. When this is 9, then this is just 8, so a little bit down. When they both are 4, then they both are at 16. And then this one will be 32, so a little bit up. And then when this is 6, then this guy is on 64, which is somewhere here. So now let's graph it. So this is how this graph goes. So it comes down for this, and then it goes up again. So it comes down and then it goes up again. So this is how it looks. Okay. So you will see, like here the hair is covering more distance than the tortoise, but after this the tortoise starts covering more distance than the hair. So they caught up at two places, which is one here and one here, which is t equals 2 and t equals 4. And that's what we are writing down. So they tied up at t equals 2 and t equals 4 seconds at distance 4 and 16 meters. Okay, so that's that. It has more, but we will be covering it tomorrow. Okay, so when you're done with this, then you will be doing your ready, set, go problem 1 through 6. Okay, so if you come up here, then you'll be doing problem 1 to 6 now.